Welcome to today's video. Get ready to witness heart-pounding, edge-of-your-seat moments where one small mistake can lead to disastrous consequences. Every decision, every move matters when it comes to protecting lives. Stay alert and stay safe. Maybe he falls sleeping. The car suddenly sways and crashes straight into the median barrier, over-tightening into the opposite lane. Luckily, passers-by gathered to help in time. Perhaps he was too busy looking at the rearview mirror. He straightened and crashed hard into the steel median. The car ranges into the next lane, causing a chain backlash, debris flying. One car over-tights. The tractor-trailer driver tried to pass when the signal was red. The barrier was down. The car was stuck, unable to move forward or backward. And then, the train comes, crashing straight into the container. A hurried decision, almost a tragedy. A fierce storm in Norway causes a huge truck to tilt, almost flip over and crush a passing car. A breath-cutting moment, just a few centimeters away from a tragedy. While overtaking a tanker truck, the tanker truck suddenly flaps a tire, veering off course into the inner lane. Luckily, the driver avoided a serious accident, but the tanker truck still crashes into the car, pushing it off the road. Horrifying moment. A plane crashes right outside a nail salon in a mall in Texas, creating a huge fireball. The fire flares up violently, shaking the entire neighborhood. The brick truck rushed forward, trying to avoid a series of stopped cars and stroke hard to the right. When it stopped, the pile of bricks on the track come down, burying the silver car next to it.
I'm good.
What's going on?
Someone just got a bad accident.
The SUV driver was driving in the far left lane when he realized that the lane was about to end. But there was a tractor trailer next to him. Panic, the driver loses control, swerves across all lanes, and then crashes into another tractor trailer. The Camry overtakes the camera-equipped car but doesn't see the truck coming. Even though the truck brakes hard, the slippery road makes the accident unavoidable. The Camry's airbag set up, dentures the rear, and hits a traffic cone. Loses control. A truck rushes forward and hardly collapses into an overpass in the Chorlu district of Tekirdağ. The violent crash leaves many people panicking. A car suddenly cut off to exit the intersection, forcing the Subaru to ride onto the grass to avoid it. The result? The Subaru crashed into a sign on the side of the road. A reckless move that caused a disaster. After the collision, both the trailer and the tanker truck stopped. But suddenly, the trailer accelerated, pushing the tank truck away. A strange, confusing, and dangerous situation. The cargo truck driving in front suddenly dropped a sofa. Luckily, the driver walking behind was at a safe distance and narrowly avoided the accident. A strange accident happened in Taiwan when a car carrying poultry crashed into the truck in front. The result? Chickens flying out, turning the highway into a mini poultry market. The truck driver had just loaded half of the truck onto the barge when he suddenly braked. Inertia caused the barge to be pushed off the shore, dragging the car down the river. A small mistake almost turned into a big accident. Dangerous rare, overcome. The tractor-trailer's speed encroached into the opposite lane to overtake. Risk of an accident imminent. Luckily, the driver of the camera reacted in time, braked hard, avoiding disaster. A breathe-worthy escape. For unknown reasons, the car suddenly stopped in the middle of the road, forcing the truck driver behind to brake hard and steering onto the shoulder to avoid it. A quick action saved both sides. Almost catched by the excavator. At a bend in China, an excavator suddenly falls off the trailer it was carrying. Luckily, a motorcyclist nearby stopped in time and narrowly escaped. A heart-shocking situation. A heavily loaded dump truck tried to pull over to avoid a stopped vehicle in front. But due to the heavy load, the truck suddenly left and overflowed onto the road. A scary loss of balance. The big truck suddenly shifted, hitting the black car, causing it to lose control and crash into the small truck in front. The result? The small truck flipped several times in the middle of the road while the black car drived into the oncoming lane. Luckily, the small truck driver was safe and unharmed. Disaster at air show. A Mi-8 HIP helicopter crashed mid-performance in southern Russia, igniting flames and panic as the horrified crowd watched in disbelief. a Nissan driver turned on the left signal but swerved straight into oncoming traffic, blocking a silver MPV, slamming the brakes too late. The MPV crashed head-on into the pickup truck, a disastrous mistake. A heart-stopping moment. A Texas officer rushed to pull a woman to safety just seconds before a truck lost control, crashing straight into her car. A miraculous escape. The car lost control, speeding at 193 kilometers per hour through Norman, Oklahoma. Way too dangerous. Police moved in quickly, using a patrol car to slam directly into it. Crash! The car spun out of control, hitting multiple vehicles nearby. Explosive disaster! High-temperature hydraulic oil leak causing a truck to erupt into a fireball. Luckily, the driver jumped to safety, a priceless reminder to always be cautious when unloading cargo. A truck carrying a speedboat stalled right on the train tracks, and the train was coming at full speed. Crash! The impact was devastating, sending the speedboat flying into the air. Rescue mission gone wrong. The recovery team attempted to reposition the 18-wheeler, but instead, they flipped it over again, crushing even more cars below in a chain reaction of destruction. Fiery crash in California. A single-engine plane slammed into a highway, erupting into flames, but miraculously, the pilot was pulled to safety, unharmed. The man signaled, but suddenly, the car surged forward, smashing into the security booth. Boom! Luckily, it stopped just in time, and the guard escaped unharmed. The cause? A new driver, unfamiliar with the car, and no license plate. Recklessly crossing the railroad. A car was struck by a freight train while attempting to beat it across the tracks. Boom! The impact was massive, but miraculously, no injuries were reported. The shocking part? The driver just kept driving like nothing happened. Caught on dash cam. A chilling moment as a plane collides with power lines, ignites into a fireball, and plummets to the ground, just moments away from a massive disaster on a busy roadway. Emergency landing gone wrong. A Mi-17 helicopter crashed into a bus while attempting an emergency landing in Hidalgo, Mexico, leaving 3 people injured in a chaotic scene. The driver wasn't just reckless, he attacked someone after the crash. Absolutely irresponsible. Total disregard for traffic laws. Just 2 seconds before disaster, the pilot ejected, hurtling through the air in free fall. Below, the jet plummeted and exploded into a massive fireball. A breathtaking moment that left the audience frozen in shock. Close call! A cyclist right against traffic, nearly triggering a major crash, but a motorcyclist slammed on the brakes just in time, narrowly averting disaster. The white Toyota left the car wash, but suddenly hit the gas. Lost control. The car plunged over the parking edge, then flipped straight onto a fire hydrant. Water erupted everywhere. An absolutely embarrassing accident. Highway horror. A helicopter lost control and crashed onto a busy US highway, plunging straight into oncoming traffic in a heart-stopping moment. A crash test like no other. A Boeing 727 plunged into the Sonoran Desert, exploding into a cloud of dust and debris. The wreckage lay scattered across the arid Mexican landscape. The back of the truck was ripped apart trying to squeeze through Watford's infamous width restriction. A collision without mercy. Horrific crash in Shenzhen. A female driver accidentally pressed the gas, lost control, demolished a security booth, and then crashed straight into a roadside shop, causing utter chaos in Guangdong. Sudden impact. Whether it was slippery roads or excess speed, one thing was certain. The car slammed straight into the vehicle ahead, creating an unexpected collision. A dramatic moment. A white Volkswagen smashed through the glass storefront, crashing into a shop. Inside, a man and woman were waiting for their drinks. Just a second later, and disaster would have struck. Luckily, they escaped unscathed. The small car suddenly slammed on the brakes on the highway, forcing the truck driver behind to swerve sharply. Tires screeched, just 1 second too late, and disaster would have struck. Shocking footage! A semi-truck lost control, skidded off the highway, and barreled through the median in a split second, leaving viewers holding their breath. The truck carrying an excavator took a corner too fast, lost control, and flipped over. Boom! Fortunately, the driver reacted in a split second, jumping out just before the crash. A narrow escape. Holiday nightmare! A helicopter spirals out of control while setting up a giant Christmas tree at Auckland Harbor, turning a festive moment into chaos and panic. Tragedy in Florida. A single-engine plane plunged onto Pembroke Pine Boulevard, colliding with a car, leaving 2 adults and a 4-year-old dead, while another victim was injured. Crossover recklessly changed lanes to block an opponent. The pickup driver swerved hard to avoid, but once ahead, he swung back sharply. Boom! The trailer ripped apart the front of the crossover, a costly price for foolish driving. Airshow tragedy. A stunt plane lost control, spiraled downward, and crashed in flames at the Vectron Airshow in Dayton, Ohio, turning a spectacular performance into a devastating disaster. Cockney camera. A shocking video captures the moment an Audi A3 driver attempted a U-turn gone wrong, losing control and crashing straight into a family home in Blackburn, Lancashire. Two women accelerated to overtake a bus, but suddenly a truck rushed toward them from the opposite direction. Too narrow, too fast. No time to react. They were forced down just inches from the bus's rear wheels. Miraculously, they escaped with only minor injuries. Collision, argument, or something else. A crazy, furious scene unfolds in the middle of the street. A delivery rider risked squeezing between two vehicles but suddenly got stuck. Trapped in a tight space, unable to move. A heart-stopping moment. Fortunately, he escaped safely, unharmed. Morning in Bellevue turned dangerous in an instant. A Tesla driver sped up, lost control, and slammed into another car while attempting a risky overtake. A close call with disaster. Terror at Pearl Harbor. A helicopter suddenly plummets from the sky, slamming into the water with a violent impact, creating a shocking scene in the heart of this historic site. A motorcyclist barely avoided a head-on crash with a fuel truck. Just 1 second later, and disaster would have struck. An incredible escape, unbelievably lucky. Chaos on Georgy Dimitrov Street. In Samara, bus number 226 spiraled out of control after the driver suffered a seizure, slamming into multiple cars, triggering a major crash. A white car lost control on a mountain curve, crashing head-on into a Mitsubishi SUV. A devastating impact. The front end shattered. Luckily, no one was injured. Split-second decision! A car driver swerved just in time, narrowly dodging a runaway truck barreling downhill. But behind him, a house took the full impact. Miracle escape. A motorcyclist barely made it out alive, squeezing through a tiny gap between a car and a truck, dodging disaster in the nick of time. Too reckless. The semi-truck driver attempted a blind overtake. Boom! The trailer slammed hard into an oncoming truck. A dangerously poor decision. The driver hit the gas, ramming straight into the car ahead, but immediately faced the consequences. The furious woman pounded on his car repeatedly. A relentless retaliation. Finally, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss out on more thrilling content. Hit that notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.